What's poppin', people? It's Dante. So I'm currently standing on a corner here with beautiful light and shadow, and I just wanted to describe how I make photos in places like this when I'm fishing at a scene, and sort of just being patient and waiting for people to enter the sunlight without it being awkward and feeling weird. I think sometimes you maybe become stagnant when you're on the streets and photographing because you think that you're disturbing the scene, or someone notices you, or you know, you're being so obvious. But actually, if you look around and you try to photograph buildings and then pan down and make a quick snapshot of a gesture, a moment, or something occurring on the corner, it's a really easy way to sort of just blend in to your environment. And I find that by working a scene this way and sort of acting like a tourist, taking photos of other things, you can get closer to the moments and make pictures. I think ultimately I'm not trying to hurt anything, I'm not trying to hurt anyone, I'm not trying to bruise the scene. I just want to make pictures and move on. And so I do it this way a lot of the times. The art of distraction. You know, you can really shoot anything. It's not that serious. Like, I don't need to be stealthy. I don't need to make it this like game to get these kind of shots, but I just do it anyway because I find that I can essentially work the scene longer and just be a fly on the wall in these kind of situations where, yeah, sometimes you'll find yourself at a corner and you see something interesting or you see some beautiful light, but you're gonna hesitate because you're afraid of looking weird or awkward. But you just look around and kind of pretend like you're shooting other things and then pan down and photograph the thing you're actually interested in. It's a really easy way to go about this. And so, like, we have this beautiful building here and I can look like I'm photographing it, then pan down to check the composition, you know, see, you know, it's like the Winogrand thing, how Winogrand would play with his camera and stuff like that. You know, I'll sometimes do that with the wrist strap, but essentially you can do it by looking around and not making eye contact with the person you're photographing, but looking beyond the person, looking at the building, looking at the backdrop. And yeah, it's just a really simple technique that I use pretty much every single day when on the streets. I like to call it the tourist technique, but I just figured I'd do a quick video to just showcase behind the scenes of a really practical suggestion for somebody who's maybe shooting on the street. And, you know, specifically shooting without a viewfinder and actually using an LCD screen, it makes this whole thing so much easier. So, you know, I believe the Ricoh GR3, the Ricoh GR3X, these are two of the best cameras for the job. And yeah, it's very seamless and easy. You have this really small compact camera and you pretty much just look like a tourist most of the time. And yeah, I just wanted to share a quick behind the scenes video of how I do this thing, because I know that there's people that struggle with overcoming that sort of hurdle or that block that prevents you from pressing the shutter. And there are games that you can play, and there are ways in which you can get closer to people without being noticed, essentially. And I actually find it to be very useful and very practical, and I think it's actually easier than you may think. No one really cares, no one really sees you, no one, I mean, they'll see you, but no one, like, you'd be surprised. Like, everyone's just kind of in their own world. And I think the moral of the story is, I don't know, what is the moral of the story? Just blend in by standing out, by acting like the ultimate tourist in your hometown. You know, you look so, like, I'm abundantly obvious that I'm making photos, but it's the art of distraction. And I don't know, I just wanted to share this because it's very useful and very practical. Man, the sun is so nice today. Spring is here. Let's go.